Hey guys, briefly before we do jump into the full video for today, I just want to say a huge thank you to anyone who has used my G Fuel code over the past week or so, because you guys have been absolutely killing it with the support so far. Going forward, my code is still going to get you 10% off your entire order, so if you are ever grabbing anything from the G Fuel site at all, be it a hat, a shaker cup, a new tub, you name it, using code Immortal is going to get you a nice little discount. And now on to today's video. If you are a fan of competitive Call of Duty, you are probably tuned in to CWL Anaheim this past weekend, where 100 Thieves won their second straight championship in epic fashion as they completely ran through everyone. Whether it was Gen G, Elevate, or even Optic Gaming themselves, they completely stomped the competition left and right all tournament long. But where exactly did all of that success come from? Sure, everybody on 100 Thieves is an absolute beast at the game. Kenny, Octane, Slasher, Enable, and Priesta all have their own strengths, but when it comes down to it, the weapons in play are the ones winning the gunfights, winning the matches, and ultimately winning the series and eventually the championship. So today we're breaking down 3 class setups that the pros use to completely dominate the battlefield. What's up guys, Zach or Immortal here, welcome back to the channel, and as always, thanks for stopping by. If you are new here and you want to stay on top of everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, feel free to hit that sub button and click that bell icon to turn on your post notifications. That way you'll always know when I upload a new video. And of course, if you guys do enjoy this one, a like rating would be much appreciated. And now let's get into 3 class setups that every single pro player loves to use. Now, for these setups in specific, I'm going to be taking the main setups that were used in the grand finals match between 100 Thieves and Gen G at CWL Anaheim, and obviously, since 100 Thieves won that series and the championship, I'm going to be drawing straight from their setups, so these are absolutely the best in the game when it comes down to competitive play. And as we move throughout each setup, we'll be explaining why it is these setups are so versatile and thus so dominant. So, to kick things off, we have the classic ICR-7 class that is mainly built around those medium to long range engagements and is most effective when trying to hold down a choke point or pick off enemies at a distance. Now, Octane in specific is where I'm grabbing this setup from, and on this ICR class, he's using the red dot sight to make it just a little bit easier to spot those enemies and stay on target, especially if he's engaging someone who is posted up in a head glitch. And alongside that red dot, Octane also runs FMJ to increase that bullet penetration through walls, objects, and armor, and also Grip 1 and 2, which not only reduces the recoil as much as physically possible, but with the help of Grip 2, you also experience less flinch when getting shot at while aiming down sights, which is incredibly huge, especially in a, no pun intended, high-octane environment where winning gunfights is absolutely crucial and can really be the difference maker in whether or not you win or lose a series. Aside from the ICR portion of this setup, Octane's perk setup of choice for respawn modes is Tac Mask and Dexterity. Tac Mask obviously offers that increased resistance to the 9-bang and concussion grenades, alongside Razor Wire, the Reactor Core, the Seeker Drone, the Tempest, the Ice Pick, the EMP Disruptor Grenade, the Counter UAV, and also the Strobe Light. Good grief, that was a mouthful. Ironically, this perk is used primarily to counter the Tempest and concussions, and we all know just how annoying those can be. Dexterity is then also used as it gives an increased speed to mantling, climbing, sliding, and swapping weapons, and the perk also offers increased weapon accuracy when jumping or mantling, and that's always a huge advantage since quite a few of the pros will jump shot to get their kills and or start spraying while they are mantling over an object in order to try and land an extra bullet or two. Then, rounding out our first setup for today, we have the Stim shot gear to heal faster and more frequently, and also a trophy system to destroy those incoming enemy lethals. Now, depending on your exact playstyle and or the mode you're playing, it's also very possible that you may want to swap out the trophy system for another perk like Dead Silence if you were to be playing Search and Destroy, and Flak Jacket is also a solid alternative to using Tac Mask, since that'll of course protect against lethal grenades and streaks like the Lightning Strike and Hellstorm. Now, moving on to our second setup for today, this one is going to be based around the Maddox assault rifle and is going to be the most effective for those flex players out there who might be a little bit more aggressive in their play style, and for those who like to partake in those close to medium range engagements. Now, we all know the Maddox is one of, if not the most, popular weapon in the entire game, both in the competitive and the casual scenes, but why exactly is that? Well, in the words of Optics Gump himself, the Maddox is one of the most versatile weapons that we have ever seen in Call of Duty history. It's an assault rifle that has a much faster fire rate than most of the other weapons in that category, and coinciding with the right attachments, it can play a lot more like a submachine gun than an assault rifle. Now, for this setup in particular, we're going to be going off of Priesta's setup in the Grand Finals, which is as follows. Starting things off, we've got the ELO sight on there, which is my personal favorite sight to use, just because it is super clean and pretty easy to spot your targets with. Then he's also got stock on there, which makes strafing and ADSing much smoother, since you do have an increased speed while doing so thanks to using stock. And then Priesta's also got quick draw 1 and 2 on his Maddox, and this is what really makes the weapon the true beast that it is. Quick Draw is obviously going to give you that increased ADS speed, but then Quick Draw 2 is going to maximize your ADS in speed and also give you an increased peripheral vision, and with that ADS in speed now being so fast, you can actually run and gun with the Maddox as if it were an SMG, but obviously it does have that AR damage still, which is what makes it so incredibly effective. Rounding out this setup, we've also got Stim Shot as our gear for the same reason as before, and Priesta also rocks perk 2 Greed on this setup, giving him lightweight and dexterity as his only 2 perks. Now, dexterity is being used once again for the same reason as before, and lightweight is, well, pretty straightforward. You move faster while sprinting, which is great for getting to those choke points a little bit faster, and it also gives you no fall damage, which can come in handy in certain situations. Now, swapping over to our third setup for today, this one is going to be based around the Sog 9mm and is by far the go-to setup for anyone looking to run and gun and just always be up in the enemy's faces. This one is obviously going to excel in those close range engagements, but especially in a competitive scenario, medium to long range, this is not the weapon you're going to want to use, so keep that in mind. Once again, here we're going to be taking Priesta's Grand Finals setup for example, which of course features the base Sog with 3 attachments on it, that being stock for that faster strafe while ADS'd, quick draw for that faster ADS in speed, and then also fast mags for that faster reload. So obviously this setup is all about being as fast as possible with everything and just getting into the action as much as you possibly can. To round out this setup, we've also once again got Stim Shot as our gear, Tac Mask for our perk 1 perk, and then perk 2 Greed with lightweight and dexterity once again, all for the same reasons that we've seen before. Unlike our other 2 classes in this video though, this one does have a little more leeway depending on your playstyle. Me personally, I love to rock double stock on my Sog and take out either fast mags or that perk 2 Greed, or you could just simply run stock, quick draw, and grip if your aim is not the greatest with the Sog in and of itself. Either way though, quick draw and stock at the bare minimum are going to be vital in this setup, especially considering that it is based so heavily around an aggressive playstyle. Now, out of these 3 setups, be sure to comment your favorite down below, and personally, just going off of what seems to be the most universally dominant, I gotta say that the Maddox setup is the most solid out of the 3. The ICR is much more based around a less aggressive playstyle, and the weapon itself is built for those longer engagements. The Sog setup, on the other hand, is entirely based around being up in the enemy's faces, but in those medium and long range fights, the Sog just simply cannot compete with any of the ARs. The Maddox setup though can be an absolute laser beam in those longer gunfights, and up close with quick draw 1 and 2, it can easily compete with the Sog and any other SMGs in a way that no other weapon in the game can. So, simply put, the Maddox truly is the most versatile weapon in all of BO4. It can dominate up close, it can dominate at a distance, and medium range, it's kind of the king of the ring. What else can I say? I guess, really, honestly, not that much at all. And with that being said, those are 3 class setups that the pro players absolutely love to use here in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. If you guys have any other class setups that you find to be incredibly dominant, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Of course, these are not the only setups that you'll see when watching an event like CWL Anaheim, but by far these weapons are the most popular amongst the best of the best. If you guys enjoyed the video, or if you just found it helpful, a like rating would be much appreciated as it does really help grow the channel. And of course, if you guys are brand new here and you like what you see, and you would like to stay on top of everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, definitely consider hitting that sub button and turning on your post notifications. That way you'll always know when I upload a new video. As always, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. All of those links can be found down below. And once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later.